Midfielder number 8, Ethan Bryant. Midfielder number 14, Kirsten Galloway. Midfielder number 88, Chavi Noalti. Forward number 9, Adam Larson. Forward number 10, Alex Gibson. And forward number 11, Mael Blanco. Head coach for Monterey Bay is Jordan Stewart.
Franchise of the United Super League, San Antonio. San Antonio FC. Tonight is their very first game as a franchise.
It is a historic night, making their playoff debut. San Antonio FC finishes the fight. The long-awaited star.
And now the starting lineup for your San Antonio FC. Captain, defender number 3, Mitch Taylor. In goal, number 1, Richard Sanchez. Defender number 21, Alex Corneli. Defender number 94, Jimmy Medranda.
Joining us this evening, Tyler Denning, Katie Goodman. Happy season to you guys. Happy season to you, Katie. We get to play some soccer. It counts tonight.
I know. It's kind of like Christmas Day if you're a soccer fan. We're finally out here brushing the rust off. We've got a new Jumbotron, a new field. It's a whole new vibe out here. And, of course, we've got a whole new coach as well. We've got some new faces. Carlos Llamosa is going to be out here bringing his Colombian influence. He's a really tenured coach, has spent many years coaching in Major League Soccer before making his way here as the head coach, also a tenured player, 29 caps with the U.S. men's national team as well. And as we can see, there are 10 returning players from last year. So it's a vibe that feels really new, but we've also got some really key guys here holding it all together.
Let's talk about those returners, because if you are familiar with SAFC, there are 3 pillars for this franchise that will be taking place in this 10th season.
And the first one that comes to mind for me is Jorge Hernandez, the absolute heartbeat of the San Antonio FC. In 2023, we had the Golden Playmaker Award back in last season. He was a Player of the Year finalist, also that All-League first team. As you can see there, holds both single season all-time assist record. Just the creative heart center here for San Antonio FC. And then another guy comes to mind. That's Mitch Tainter. This team would not be what it is without him there on the back line, wearing the captain badge tonight. Returns as the all-time leader in appearances and minutes played. Another huge strongman presence there on the back line for San Antonio FC.
And that third piece, their leading returning goal scorer, Juan Agudelo from last season.
Right. Again, another strongman presence there in that center striker role. Really hard guy to defend. He's able to get a turn and look at goal pretty easily there, and led the team last season in goals, as you said, with 8. And just good to see some really good familiar faces here this season.
One thing quickly on their opponent, Monterey Bay FC, what to expect?
They've got a whole new coach as well and a lot of new faces. So really, we don't know what to expect. We have yet to see them play this season, but I can guarantee you there's going to be some English influence, considering head coach Jordan there is from England. He brought a couple of guys over as well with some English presence as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how those cultures kind of play out.
The scrimmages, the practices, they are over. This one counts for real. We begin the season. San Antonio FC.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. There he is. Let's do this.
Hey, you ready? Yeah. You're up, guys.
All right.
During the Ready, Set, Go event, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 36 months on a rugged new 2025 Tundra. Offer ends March 31st.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Yeah.
Come on.
Toyota, let's go places.
With the new Ultimate Hut Bundle, create your ultimate Pizza Hut feast. I got meat lovers and double pepperoni.
Rock, we got double pep.
I get double pep.
Dude, Bundle Bros!
Bundle Bros.
Bundle Bros!
Build yours starting at $24.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Here's a little tune about Texas. We got the prettiest sunset you ever saw. Our flag is awesome and easy to draw, and the people are as friendly as can be. Yeah, we got two-stepping boots and jeans, Tex-Mex barbecue, chili, no beans, and we got ourselves a store called H-E-B. So when you check out, scan your app, get ready to scream, shout, and clap, because you can win free groceries for the whole dang year. But they ain't just giving one away. They'll pick new winners for 120 days to say thank you, Texas, for 120 great years.
Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart.
Your heart is in the right place. With our team of heart specialists, we offer expert care for you and your loved ones. Learn more about our comprehensive heart care.
Chilly night in San Antonio, 62 degrees, and the wind is gusting up to 40 miles an hour. So, Katie, that figures to be a factor this evening as we look at the starting lineups, beginning with Monterey Bay FC.
Wind definitely does play a factor, no doubt. It's quite a bit of chaos can be.
Roll around on it yet?
I've walked around, but I've not rolled around. It's on my to-do list. I'd like to just roll out a blanket and take a nap.
The 2025 season USL Championship is underway for San Antonio FC, celebrating a decade. Already with one title to the franchise's shield. Can they add such this year? Long way to go. So much to find out across the course of the season and the night, as mentioned, with the new coaching staff. Here our first whistle.
Bit of a clip of the ankles. Also tough when you're running from behind at that angle. I did have a chance to talk with head coach Carlos Llamosa. He had mentioned that they love the long balls. They love to build out of the back. And so I think that's something that we saw there early on, trying to catch SAFC on their back heels. Maybe they were expecting an older formation, some of the former SAFC, but this is a whole new team. As you can see, running a 4-3-3 SAFC last season to do more of a high press mentality, 5-4, 5-3-2-1 type vibe. Very different here, though.
Looking on. Third head coach in SAFC history announced on December 16th of 2024. Katie, your keys to the match.
My keys this time, it's really for both sides. We've got two really new teams. And so for me, it's about connectivity and cohesion on both sides. The hardest thing about starting a new season with a ton of new teammates is finding that chemistry and cohesion. Yeah, pulled it right out. And then back to basics. So we know the wind is crazy. That means we're gonna have to keep the ball down low, right? So that's that was my second key there. And then on the third is just tap into that energy of the new season. Looks like that's no problem there for them. It's just, you know, harnessing that energy, putting it in the right direction, not letting the nerves get the best of you. Some nice tiki-taka movement here on the right side for SAFC.
Swung all the way over, right to left, trying to free up some space. Lead to the first look and not quite tapping it in, but behind the keep in Nico Campazzo for Monterey Bay. Their head coach, Jordan Stewart, you had mentioned his English heritage, 400 pro appearances in both England at the EPL level, Leicester City and Watford. 71, the MLS level, began coaching in 2022 with the Quakes Academy. He was elevated to the first assistant for San Jose's MLS Next Quakes 2, that is now the Town FC. In his first season as head coach for Monterey Bay FC in August of 2024. For Carlos Llamosa, as mentioned by you, Katie, his Colombian experience, 14 years pro coaching experience. Time with Chivas USA, the New York Cosmos, the New York Revolution. Most recently, he was with the Portland Timbers from 2018 to 2023 as he watches his team try to defend here, tripping up on that new pitch. It was a perfect leave. The ball, though, deflected out of bounds by Reese Buckmaster taking to the pitch. So we'll have our first corner kick as SAFC will organize. Monterey Bay the same.
Unlucky there from Malongo. Looks like it caught his cleats. A lot of times if you have brand new soccer cleats, they haven't quite worn in yet. They can be a little bit sticky. I've had that problem myself before.
Cleats are getting used to the season as well.
Yeah, that's right. Just shaking off the rust here.
Just a tap in. Kicked around, and how about in goal?
Yeah, Richard Sanchez, he's coming back here to SAFC from last season, joined really late in September, but still really made an impact. Had 7 saves in 3 games played, working with the 63% save percentage rate. Really came in as a fill-in against so many injuries last season, and just good thing, decided to stick around and stay.
That goalkeeping position, I think inarguably outside of Mitchell Tainer, who we talked about, has been the cornerstone for SAFC over their 10 years of existence. Only a few names have been back there, and they've all played so well. So, as you mentioned, for Sanchez, he's been in keep for SAFC prior, but now getting the challenge and the honor of taking the full-time position.
Sporting director Marco Ferruzzi had mentioned he'd made some really good stops last season and wanted to really keep him around moving into this season. And then another keeper who's really amazing, who Coach Llamosa had his eye on, was Nico Campuzano there in pink. Another guy who's really quite the outstanding player.
It's a highlighter matchup between the two goalkeepers tonight. Whistle blown for the offsides. So Sanchez will put some English on the ball and put it in play. Stylistically, tell me, Katie, about what you expect. I know you wanted to watch and eager to watch, but what are some early high-level bullet points fans can look for SAFC identity-wise?
Well, what I love is that they're being really intentional with their possession here, not possessing just to possess. As you can see there, got that ball up early at the right timing, unable to get out of this pocket here, but earlier in the game, just about maybe 10 minutes ago, we had a really good big switch, and I love to see that. Guys picking their head up, seeing who they have, and anytime you're playing that 4-3-3 type of formation, you have that option to get a big switch in. It doesn't have to be super direct, so it's obvious already that they're really using the width of the field.
Throw in from Reese Buckmaster. Ball will be tapped back past the center line and reorganized.
Got to settle it there. Doing really well to possess along the back line. It's just keeping control of it there up top.
Back line of defense for San Antonio following the Crispin Kelp. Good look on frame, but Sanchez meets the ball in due time to prevent any sort of scoring opportunity. Going back the other way, no numbers, but do have momentum outside the box, looking for the extra pass.
Well, backing up on that one, I mean, we had a blue jersey wide open there going into the attacking third, something you absolutely cannot do. Sometimes it's just learning to adjust. You've been in a 3-back for a long time. Mitch is used to playing in that outside back role. He's had to segue here as the center back position. you need, and it's hard when it's this early in the season. You're still learning to communicate with your back line. You need your outside backs to pinch in and cover that. Luckily, no harm, no foul there for SAFC. But when they were able to get out and transition there, great job. But Jorge Hernandez, his first thought is very rarely go to goal. Of course, he's the assist leader for a reason. He's really unselfish, looking to get a pass there for a nice, easy pickoff the top of the 18. But he might have been able to just take that one first time.
Just a little too much mustard past the boot of Pacheco. Both of these franchises coming off seasons last year in which they did not appear in the playoffs. For SAFC, just outside of the 8th that made it in the West. They finished 9th with 39 points. For Monterey Bay FC, 11th in the Western Conference with 34 points. Katie, I think safe to say the standard here in San Antonio that has been established and carried across the decade is playoffs, at least as a offensive push. Trio of defenders there, and the Crispin Kelp. Easy work for Campazano in keep, but this franchise expects to be in the playoffs.
Absolutely. I mean, if you don't have that expectation going into it, then what are you doing, right? But I think it's always tough when you've got a whole new squad, you've got new coaches, but you've got to set your sights high, and I think both coaches are on the right path there with that. Jake LaCava coming out like a bullet on that left side, not holding back, pumping the brakes at all whatsoever. Definitely has youth on his side, so as he should be.
10 returners from last year's squad. We covered the names mentioned. Last year was a story of injuries, the top bullet point. So we won't play that record any further.
Oh yeah, I think fans are tired of hearing that. Of course,
group that you had talked about, and you had talked with the coaching staff about easing into the season, not overexerting them, really wanting to give them a chance to find their fitness, find some chemistry, find some form.
Yeah, and I love that philosophy going into the season. I think a lot of coaches come in, they want to prove a point, they want to show they're the biggest and the baddest, but Coach Yamosa really did it right, saying, hey, I'm going to ease these guys into season. And with San Antonio FC, they had a new guy added every week is what it felt like. I kept getting all these press releases to my inbox, and so definitely kept their comms people busy.
Tough
and I'm
play
sure
there
Coach too.
The ball in the wind, trying to spot it down. Buckmaster, who's been busy probing that right side.
It seems like both teams going into this wanted to go the aerial route quite a bit, trying to chip in behind, find the long ball. They may be forced to play lower and on the ground here on this one, or use the wind to their advantage. You know, if you are going to go along with it, you have to overcompensate in some ways to get it to where you want it.
Yeah, I think air traffic control tonight is keeping the ball below the flight deck.
Right.
But, hey, it may wind up in some opportunities if you can play the wind right. It is just ripping.
Yeah.
North to south, as mentioned, about 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's going against Monterey Bay here, so definitely an advantage for SAFC as they've got a player down on the field. Looks like Nicky Hernandez.
Chance for Monterey Bay FC. Sanchez down to grab it. It's still out and cleared. Great awareness by the goalkeeper and Sanchez to keep that ball in front of him. And eventually it is cleared out by his defensive line.
Great stuff there from Ricardo Sanchez. I mean, just getting there, right place at the right time, able to read that through traffic.
How good does it feel, Katie, for these players, yourself as a player, when you finally get done with camp and the game, you're done playing your teammates, you're done playing scrimmages that don't count, the season begins in earnest?
Half the battle is just staying healthy in preseason. A lot of injuries happen there because guys are just going so hard at practice, trying to...
We have 2 balls on the pitch right now. Yeah. There was one thrown back from the crowd. This may lead to a stoppage here. This is...
Blow the whistle.
Yeah. That extra ball needs to be cleared, and now it's played right into the middle where the other ball was, so glad I saw that. Stopped that as the confusion. The ball had gone into the stands, and then it was thrown back in. No one had retrieved the ball or cleared it off the pitch. So then when the offensive progression went that way, it was pressed back into the action. I couldn't see on the other side who it was. It was somebody for San Antonio FC. But trying to figure that out right now on the field, what happened?
Yeah, might have been an intentional clearance towards the play since we were out of possession. Actually pretty smart if you think about it. But, I mean, ref has comms here, so you would think maybe the sideline ref or somebody else saw that. But always hard to say, you know. We have a bird's eye view, so it's easy for us to see.
I have never seen that before.
Yeah.
I think it was Jorge Hernandez that tried to go for another assist. Challenge in the box, fighting through the San Antonio defense left for Sanchez, who just does boot it out. Seeing communication issues on the back line?
Yeah, which is, I think, normal when you have a whole new team. I mean, you've got Mitch Tainer back there with two new faces. Reese Buckmaster is not a usual outside back. He's more of a winger.
Monterey Bay is finding space. This one deflected. The defense is held thus far for San Antonio. Can they keep it up? That one will trickle harmlessly.
Monterey Bay doing a really good job of playing on the ground here and finding those seams and moving forward. Just way too many pockets there for SAFC. They're going to have to find a way to get a little more compact, move as a unit. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me that there's a few communication breakdowns. It's the first game, a lot of new faces. And as mentioned, Reese Buckmaster playing out of position, at least from what we saw last season.
Ball with the throw in 2 paces from the corner. Dispossessed, falling to the pitch, trying to fight to recollect. Xavi Nolati for NBFC. This will be a chance to reset, recollect for Sanchez now finally from the back line.
Right now is the time when San Antonio really wants to use the wind while it's at their back.
So the preference is to have the wind at your back?
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard when it's a crosswind, but it's really north to south here, which can really work to their advantage. It's just putting the proper pressure on the ball, but that shouldn't be too hard for them at this level. You also don't want to stray too far off your game plan either.
Good tap and touch to earn some space. What can San Antonio do with it?
It's a good idea, just picked up well there by Monterey Bay.
Spun back out to middle circle. San Antonio will chip forward. Ball sent in, and that off the post. Just ricocheted and put Campuzano to the test, but he was helped out by the metal.
Post to save the day, but man, things starting to heat up here for San Antonio. Talk about a perfect placement. Actually looked like that one came off of Monterey, but Monterey Bay guy, yeah.
With an own goal. But a corner kick coming. Jorge Hernandez will take such from the left corner. Whistle is chirping. Ready to go now. Ball swung in, fighting around. It's eventually punched out by the defense. Monterey Bay was available though for a couple of seconds.
Had Mitch Tainer in the mix, took a tumble. Some good sportsmanship there from Nico Campuzano.
SAFC with the throw in.
You can tell they've been working on Rondo in practice.
Some good linkage. Matriculates to the other side, a strike from outside the box. It was clear on the frame, and Campuzano there to meet the well-struck ball.
What a strike from Madronda. We knew going into this that he was an outstanding outside back, but his ability to get into the attack is really what sets him apart there.
One of those Colombian players.
That's right. Played at Deportivo Cali, Deportivo Pereira. Also played in the MLS with Sporting KC and Columbus Crew. Coach said exactly that. Brings a lot of experience, defends well, and boosts the attack.
Jimmy Madronda.
Jimmy, Alex Cognali, and I think Diogo Pacheco, they are my 3 new guys to watch. Diogo Pacheco, Jake LaCava have some great chemistry up top already.
Pacheco wearing number 70. We've seen him active around a couple of balls. Madronda, who you mentioned, number 94 in black.
Three guys on Jorge, but composed as ever.
Ooh. Ow. Be checking out the upper head areas. That was hard connection to Pierce Galloway. No ill intent. It was just a ball trying to be put on frame, but immediately hitting the pitch. Is moving, but being attended to, checking that neck area. It's just so important.
Absolutely. Ref wasting no time to get the medics out there, and I think if you've played soccer long enough, it's all happened to us where you just take one point blank and it hurts, and it knocks a few screws loose, no doubt. So I wouldn't hope to see him pop up and be okay. It's almost, hate to speculate, but
this is something, Katie, that we've seen the evolution of sports science and the evolution of game, especially all games. Protection of the head area. Maybe in years past that would have been a play on. The whistle doesn't immediately come in, but the official was right on top of it. The stoppage was called immediately and now is being tested with that ball that was so hard struck and connected with Galloway up top, who is up and moving, up and walking off the pitch on his own accord.
Have a look at this again. Point blank. He lines up, takes the shot, doesn't even see him there. Just gets him tough. We've all been there. But yes, there's been an increase in traumatic brain injuries. We've seen it across all sports, NFL included. And so good that they're taking proper precautions here. In fact, you're not even able to head the ball anymore before the age of 7 in youth soccer. So I'm sure I could have benefited from that, considering all that I forget now. But I'm glad to see people really taking it seriously now. Looks like there's going to be a change, too. Oh, just kidding. Nope, it's coming right back in.
Galloway played his college ball at Old Dominion. Been cleared and sent back onto the pitch and into the contest. So good to see him back. Maybe just a little sore, but no worse for the wear.
Played on Monterey Bay FC too, also, before he made his way to first team. It's been quite.
20 minutes into the match, 20 minutes into the season. Initial impressions. What are your takeaways?
I think we're seeing a lot of good things on both sides, bits and pieces. That's all we can really expect here are moments of brilliance. It's not going to be perfect all the way through this early in the season with this many changes. But as far as Monterey Bay defense, they've really been outstanding, not letting much in, not giving away any free looks. Very connected back there.
But you hear the coaching. Not sure which side it was coming off, but the mic hot enough to feed you the communication. Trying to properly organize the form of the players on the pitch. Possession right now 53% to 47 in favor of SAFC.
So pretty close. I wouldn't say I'm seeing any kind of major imbalance, mostly just that Monterey Bay has had some better looks at goal here. getting in through the seams, finding those tricky spots.
Yeah, the shots officially are 5-2 in favor of San Antonio, and the shots on target 1-0. But the eye will tell you different, as Sanchez has had to look alive, at least in those opening 5 minutes, where there was a trio of opportunities for Monterey Bay to sneak one by the San Antonio goalkeeper, but 0-0.
Correct, really has required him to step up pretty quick here this game.
If there's one thing that you can come into the season strong with, it would be your defense and your goalkeeping, right?
Right. If anything, just keep that back line with your best, the best that you have back there, and sometimes that means players playing out of position.
Spinning around and servicing in, tapped down with the chest, but flicked out. It's a 3-on-5. Push forward, but not enough to get the pass through. Easily defensed by the Crisp and Kelp. How do you like the Crisp and Kelp? Good looking uniforms.
Yeah, I think they've always had really nice kits. It's really easy colors to work with, I think. Dark blue and the light blue. San Antonio FC released new kits as well. In fact, those black jerseys they're wearing actually have the marks from the map of the San Antonio Riverwalk. It's meant to pay tribute there to the San Antonio River.
Yeah, once you look and you get a look up close, there is detail to it. New kit provider working with as well, Charlie the company. I'm told that there's going to be some more freedom in terms of design, and expect to see some additional designs kit-wise coming down the line.
It's always fun to see, especially when they have their themed nights and,
I love
they make a jersey
good
for that.
Kit.
Me too. Whoever is charged with creating these jerseys has done a really great job, because there's quite a few that I've wanted throughout the years.
That's where you got to pull rank. You're important around here.
Hello. I'll take one with my last name on it.
So 25 minutes we approach. It's a series that SAFC has dominated historically. Just the 7th meeting, but 5 wins for San Antonio. No losses and a tie. They last met, did these clubs on September 7th of 2024. SAFC was victorious 1-0. Monterey Bay has never beaten SAFC. It's 2-0-1 here at Toyota Field.
The officials assess a yellow card to Monterey.
Yellow card, first time seeing such this season. What'd you see?
And you know, that's interesting, because I think SAFC in the past probably would have had 3 yellows by now. So there's a slight identity change. Let's see. Just a little bit of hand flailing in the beginning. Hard to call on that one. Just trying to tame things down, probably. It's been a really clean game so far. Not much to tame. That's a beautiful ball. Just have to get on the end of it.
Cannot.
And that's the tricky part when you've got the wind behind your back. It might land in a really nice place, but it's going to have a lot of pace when it hits that ground.
Good crowd out tonight, celebrating the return, looking to see what their squad will resemble. Crowd-spirited tailgating. Love to see a first half crack on goal. 2-on-4. Trying to probe through the defense. Great play.
Captain Mitch Tainer coming in big.
Just a boot in there, perfectly timed, snuffs out the run. What can San Antonio do with it? It's a cheeky left foot. Strike from the box. It's deflected, but Campuzano thought highly of it enough to sacrifice the full body on the extension. The ball goes over the frame and out of bounds.
You can see on their jerseys there, you can see that river running right down the middle. But yeah, he's not taking any chances.
How about the run right down the middle after the defensive play?
Yeah.
Good back and forth that we saw across that sequence.
Great defensive effort, followed right behind. Great offensive effort. Let's see what they do here.
Got a good opportunity, did San Antonio, off the last corner kick. The ball stayed available. Went to the further side, and that wind.
Wind got him.
It feels like you got to be aiming almost in line with us in the press box to then get it to land.
But yet again, I'll repeat myself, Monterey Bay's defense is really doing a great job. They've not given them any clean looks, including that last shot. It was deflected off Monterey Bay guy. And for San Antonio, it's cleaning this up here.
Chip back, good look on frame, shifting back to his left for Jorge Hernandez. Campuzano up to the task.
They seem to do a really good job building up through the middle of the field. It's that final third, just cleaning up those bits and pieces. They're going to be a really tough team to deal with. Jorge Hernandez getting, again, into a tricky spot. So good with the ball at his feet.
There's a couple of passes before that set up that sequence and opportunity. Seems as if both teams settled in a little bit more.
I would agree with that, yeah. Even SAFC's back line looking a little more confident. It's just when the ball is on one side of the field, squeezing that side. But as you can see here, there's a couple of blue jerseys camped out. We've got an offside guy, so I'm not sure what the plan is there.
3 offsides, the whole back.
No flag there.
Leave for Sanchez.
Jorge Hernandez doing so well to win those 50-50s there in the middle of the park. Again, that heartbeat of San Antonio FC. It's little things like that. He not only has the talent, but he has a hustle. Really need both to be great.
Back on a multi-year deal.
Smart to sign him.
All-time
lock him in on that.
Leader for the club and single season leader as well. Last year, a USL Championship Player of the Year finalist, All-League first teamer. So a huge part of what San Antonio is trying to build this season. Number 10. Nolati was the recipient of the yellow card back in the 26th minute. Good hesitation by Buckmaster. He avoided the tackle and kept the run going. Not a ton of black jerseys up there. A shoulder to the back and pushed down was Buckmaster.
No call from the ref there.
Mosa was right there. So he stepped out of the box, and the official on the sideline had to remind him that's what the painted lines are for. Flag is up. Let's see if we can do this one without 2 balls on the pitch.
Yeah. Can they do it?
Would add some intrigue to the game if... Yeah, maybe you should do that in after 2 extra times. You play with 2 ball.
Now you have to play with 2 and see what happens.
Goal. And then every minute you add another ball into the mix.
Sounds like a training nightmare. Coaches will do stuff like that in practice and do some of the most random stuff sometimes.
Tyler Denning, Katie Goodman, season opener, a new era. San Antonio turns the calendar on 10 years of existence. Founded in January of 2016, 5 USL playoff berths, 4 straight from 2020 through 2023, the culmination in the 2022 season, USL Champions, Players Shield, Copa Tejas Shield and Trophy in 22 and 23. 11 all-league selections across that period of time. So a ton to celebrate for this club's history, but coming off a disappointing season and not qualifying for the playoffs. So a new era with a new coaching staff, new faces, second yellow card we are seeing.
That one looked like quite the collision. Might very well be warranted, although Madronda does not think so. I don't think there's talking the ref out of this one, though.
No, I think he's doing his booking in pen.
Permanent marker.
Yeah, no pencil.
We'll have a look back at it.
Just
definitely wasn't intentional,
yeah.
But yeah, you can
just
see
timing wise, and then where the boot went into the back calf. Never, I'm sure, a good place to feel the pinch of a cleat.
That's gotta hurt. It's gonna leave a mark. Battle scar. Coach Yomosa said they were really dangerous on the set piece, so let's see what they do here. Really great placement considering the wind was against them on that one.
I was just looking at the flags to see if the wind had died down. Considering.
Yeah, so this new Monterey Bay FC team, one thing we can say for sure is their defense is stitched tight. I think they're already at a great level here early on in the season. They're doing some great things up top, finding good looks, and they're absolutely dangerous on those set pieces.
10 returners, 14 newcomers.
Probably the biggest win for them this preseason. They beat Sacramento Republic 2-1. Not a team to sneeze at by any means. They also lost to San Jose Quakes. They are an MLS side, though. Coach Jordan Stewart thinks that if give them a little bit more time, if they had some of their better guys on the team, it would have been a very different score line. So, again, only time will tell.
San Antonio trying to wrestle control of this match. It's too cold tonight for gentlemen to be out here in this full wrestling kit.
This is winter to San Antonians.
Tapped up into the windy night sky. Played back to Sanchez.
Good decision to settle. Use your keeper on that one. Always nice when the keep has great ball control as well. Kind of like a third center back. San Antonio obviously trying to be patient. Can only be so patient for so long. Great check there from Juan Agudelo. Exactly the kind of stuff you want to see. Ref not calling much for San Antonio here.
Pressed to the ground. Turned over on the return. Good forward ball. Swept across. The head is there, but off the post. The rebound just wide. It was a beautiful opportunity. You can see it manifest. Perfect placement on the service ball. The head nearly of Pacheco, connecting for the first goal of the season, but the bar was in the way.
Absolute gorgeous placement.
Oh!
Right place at the right time.
The groan from the crowd. They saw the replay right as we did. Oh, it was beautiful. That would have been a way to start the season.
And all of that started because of the composure and the patience building out of the back. They were
what you had just said, Katie, was patience. That this little lull of the game had settled into a little bit of patience, and they moved the ball forward.
Yeah, I love to see it. It does feel very different. It doesn't feel so haphazard or intense or kind of do or die. It's very much more rooted in confidence.
Yeah, no 88th minute, we're down a goal panic.
Yeah. Although it is nice to know your team can show up in those moments, but still, it's better to put it away early on, right? Diogo Pacheco from Lisbon, Portugal, quite the presence. Played at FC Tulsa prior to this, and that would have been a banger of a goal, probably a goal of the week type situation had that gone in.
Yeah, looking forward to looking back at that sequence. We'll have to show you in halftime because that has been the best we've seen yet. 2 balls that have connected that post on the right side, so Campuzano, he better give the post a hug.
Yeah, post putting in some good work here tonight.
It's holding steady in spite of the wind.
Not to take it away from Campuzano, he has been in really good position in most cases right there nearby.
Yeah, that was
that one would have got him though.
Perfect pass to give Pacheco that opportunity. Trying to build forward again, a little bit of space to work with right at the corner of the box. Risky yet successful play by the defender. Buckmaster.
Good hustle there from Buckmaster.
It's the ball eventually to Pacheco's team with possession. Ball's been on the foot a lot of San Antonio FC over the last 7-8 minutes.
I think they're just finding their rhythm here. Able to take a breather there on the defensive side of things. Yeah, I see Agudelo not happy about that. Really had that turn going for him. Looks like he got his ankles clipped on that one. Immediately angry with the ref. Ref said, calm down, I got it. Was probably trying to give him advantage on that one.
Tapped around, and that will be the first goal. The ball stays in the box long enough. Campuzano was already committed, and Pacheco gets one back.
It felt like a matter of time there for Pacheco. And of course, it's Mitch Tainer there to redirect that ball. He's in the backside of the 5. Most teams not expecting that there on that set play. Diogo Pacheco there just to pick it off.
How poetic, given he was robbed of one. So nice about 5 minutes ago off the post, but here's the way that it went.
Beautiful chip in there from Jorge Hernandez. The redirect from Mitch Tainer, strong, powers through, and then Diogo Pacheco there to finish it through traffic. Just beautiful stuff. This is a new era here for SAFC.
So Pacheco notches the first goal of the season, the first goal of the 10th anniversary.
And we've got a new supporters section. We've got smoke coming from the top left of the field rather than in the bunker.
It's going to give us a great indication of how the wind is moving. But just past the 40-minute mark, as from 30 on, San Antonio FC was very methodical, it felt like, and earned themselves the reward of a goal. Can they build on it? Can they protect it? Or does Monterey Bay have an answer? Hard challenge coming in from far. Tainer. We're going to see our 3rd yellow card of the first half. All 3 against SAFC is San Antonio's captain, Mitch Tainer, come over and make his case.
Yeah, when he went to take that tackle, I think he was right in line with the ball. I think Xavi saw that, got that ball out in front. You can see no harm, no foul. Not trying to buddy up either. Love it. Things are heating up here, as we would expect.
Assess the yellow.
The officials assess the yellow card to San Antonio FC's number 3, Mitch
We got Monterey Bay in a similar situation here. Again, a team that's really dangerous on set pieces. San Antonio FC gonna have to be really zip tight on this.
Excuse me, 2-1. 1 yellow card to Monterey Bay FC, San Antonio. Medrano with the first, and now Tainer. Well, Nolati was the recipient. Crisp and Kelp, what do they make of this opportunity from close? Ricocheted off. Some debate as to who it was off, and will it be a corner kick on the other side? Indeed, so ricocheted off a black jersey. Do it. Again, this time from the corner.
Not out of danger just yet.
Sent on the pitch, now chipped up the head, fighting for it. Sanchez to the ground and to the cheers of the SAFC faithful.
Mad ups from Sanchez there, getting up to meet the ball. Well done and well read. Opts to take it from the ground rather than a punt. Probably the wind at his back might have sent it a little too far. Not a bad idea.
Approaching the final minutes, the opening half of the season. Diego Pacheco goal. Ricocheted around in the 40th minute. That's the difference right now. 3v4. Sanchez will let it go over his head. LaCava on the assist off of the head.
Ref really not calling any of these challenges there in the higher center field area. I mean, looked like Nicky Hernandez got quite a knock there on the shin. Got up, walked it off, but
well-struck ball with the head of Carlos Guzman, number 5. 3 minutes of added time. That ball just got knocked down by the gusting winds that you can hear coming off our on-field microphones. A lot of excitement in the building tonight. The SAFC operations staff was getting jacked up prior to the game. I think a lot of eagerness to get back to it. I'm always excited to make the drive down here and get to work with you because I know that the calendar is turning to spring, though we've already had some 80-degree days.
I know, and I mean, today is a perfect example of Texas weather fooling you. I mean, it had me fooled, and I've been here my whole life.
Yeah, 81 to 56.
Yeah.
This wind, though, we have seen over the last week or so. It's an establishment just up the road. It has a beaver. I won't say the name because they have to pay for that. But driving down, the wind has ripped through their sign.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. It's been that windy. Big dust storm had blown in last week as well. Planes had been grounded.
It looked really ominous, actually, last week between that and the fires. And anytime there's a high wind, it's also a fire risk. But yeah,
this wind is to the norm of the last handful of days. With the season underway in earnest to celebrate 10 years, a decade.
What an awesome thing to score, to be the first to score on your 10-year anniversary.
Can they find another? Yes, opportunity here. Second chance off the crossbar. multiple opportunities to take a 2-goal advantage into half. The side post and the crossbar has been in favor of Monterey Bay. Campuzano thankful there, but wow, Katie, 2 chances.
That was so close we could taste it, you know? Man. Once again, just a near miss there for Jake LaCava. Let's have a look at it. First we think it's Agudelo. LaCava gives it a go, and it's just over the post.
The net was wide open.
Those are the moments that come with experience and time. You control those nerves. Realize you don't have to put so much pace on it. Sometimes we want the perfect, picture-perfect goal. It doesn't have to be that in that instance. But even then, the combination between LaCava, Pacheco, Agudelo, it's been really good.
Oh, it looked like it was initially going to be allowed to play on clean. Frustrated after the whistle, Soto.
Looked like a clean takeaway. Would have to see it again. But setting up really quickly here for the set piece.
What may be the last opportunity for either side in this opening half. Ball still bouncing around, back outside of the box, up in the air. Sanchez showing off the hops once again.
It was really absolutely chaotic up until Sanchez got his gloves on it. To have sticky gloves at that angle really is amazing.
What an opening half, though. The first 10 minutes, chaos as teams were settling into the season, but Pacheco netting a goal in the 40th minute to begin the season. SAFC has to head to the locker room being very happy with the first half.
Absolutely. Pat themselves on the back. We'll have a lot more to talk about here at the half.
So 1-0, we will take a quick break and come on and break this one down. Join us here for the season opener. First half in the books, 1-0 SAFC.
Disturbed. Live. Oh. Get up, come on, get down. The 25th anniversary of the 5-time platinum album, The Sickness. 2 sets, 1 show, The Sickness in its entirety, and greatest hits with special guests, Daughtry, and nothing more. Friday, April 25th, Frost Bank Center. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Disturbed. Live.
As the HEB Boilmaster, I always get excited for the season because it's the most wonderful time of year for crawfish. And at HEB, we sell more crawfish in Texas than anyone. We're talking big, fresh, live Louisiana crawfish. Plus, with our in-store boils, we do the prepping, spicing, and cooking. So you can just pinch, pull, and be merry. HEB. Here, crawfish season is better.
3 nuns were driving through Austin and they got a flat tire. They stop in front of a Frost Bank. Next thing you know, a Frost banker walks out and changes their tire? Hold on. This can't be real.
It's a real story.
And the nuns?
Yeah, they weren't even Frost customers.
Dude! You think I can be a nun?
Not a chance, sister.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Hey, there he is. Let's do this.
Hey, you ready? Yeah.
You're up, guys. All right.
During the Ready, Set, Go event, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 36 months on a rugged new 2025 Tundra. Offer ends March 31st.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Yeah.
Come on.
Toyota, let's go places.
Playing some tic-tac-toe at Center of the pitch, Tyler Denning, Katie Goodman. Season is underway. What an exciting way to begin. We told you there's a lot of new names, new faces that we are going to learn about. You guys will learn about across the course of the season. And a good first half for SAFC.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, things started a little slow. I was a little concerned about the back line, but things really came together naturally. I think that's to be expected with a brand new team. They've got to brush the rust off. They got to get to know each other. I think a few games in, it's going to be borderline telepathic for them. But again, Reese Buckmaster playing in that outside back role. He typically plays in the winger position. He's doing a great job back there. But really, it's the stuff they've created up top. Initially, some things were, a couple loose ends there where they weren't quite tying up. Some not so great passes I was seeing, but everything makes up for it there. And that Diogo Pacheco effort with the header, beautiful. Unfortunate, didn't go in, but he sealed the deal after the fact.
Yeah, those opening minutes, it was Sanchez in goal.
It's just that San Antonio FC is taking advantage of their opportunities.
The one thing that is not similar and the most important, that score in the score column, 1-0. All right, spin it forward to the second half. What does SAFC have to do to walk away with a win in the season opener?
I'm loving the patience I'm seeing from them building out of the back. I think when we started to see that, it wasn't as chaotic. They were really dictating the game and putting the ball where they wanted it to go. If they could just carry that energy into the second half. I know it sounds generic, but I think it really is that simple for them because the last 15 minutes of that first half was looking excellent, from my opinion.
All right, can they keep it up? We have 45 more minutes, plus maybe a few to play.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
USL All Access is back. Neil Collins joins us, and it's kid season. Lexington, its first year in the USL Championship. Can they knock it out of the park? A Brendan Burke squad at Hartford Athletic who's trying to find that two-way balance. And this manager who's always been so offensively minded. Is there another Las Vegas Lights and a turnaround? And are the perennial favorites, like a Sacramento Republic, New Mexico, a Louisville or Charleston, up to the task from the get-go?
One nothing ball game to begin the season here in San Antonio, Toyota Field. But good news, Katie, is that action happening around the country. USL is underway.
Lots of action for sure, no doubt. And who knows what could go down. It's the first game of the season for everybody.
Names, new faces, but a good result thus far at the half. They're up 1-0.
Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart.
Your heart is in the right place. With our team of heart specialists, we offer expert care for you and your loved ones. Learn more about our comprehensive heart care.
At 24,000 square feet, America's Diamond in San Antonio is the largest design and manufacturing jewelry store in America. You can buy direct from America's Diamond and get much better quality jewelry for much less money. Everyone gets our very lowest, clearly marked manufacturer's price every day of the year. Watch our television program called Buying Diamonds Intelligently right now at americasdiamond.com. America's Diamond is the official jeweler of the San Antonio Spurs and the University of Texas at San Antonio Athletics.
With the new Ultimate Hut Bundle, create your ultimate Pizza Hut feast. I got meat lovers and double pepperoni.
Gronk, we got double pep.
I get double pep.
Dude, Bundle Bros!
Bundle Bros!
Bundle Bros!
Field yours starting at $24.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
What would you do if you won a big jackpot? Buy a new car. Take a vacation. Pay off your house. Turn your dreams into reality at Texas' premier entertainment destination. Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel in Eagle Pass, Texas.
Teams coming out of the locker room getting warmed up, 1-0. What happens in the second half? Come on back, find out.
Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart.
Your heart is in the right place. With our team of heart specialists, we offer expert care for you and your loved ones. Learn more about our comprehensive heart care.
At 24,000 square feet, America's Diamond in San Antonio is the largest design and manufacturing jewelry store in America. You can buy direct from America's Diamond and get much better quality jewelry for much less money. Everyone gets our very lowest, clearly marked manufacturer's price every day of the year. Watch our television program called Buying Diamonds Intelligently right now at americasdiamond.com. America's Diamond is the official jeweler of the San Antonio Spurs and the University of Texas at San Antonio Athletics.
With the new Ultimate Hut Bundle, create your ultimate Pizza Hut feast. I got meat lovers and double pepperoni.
Gronk, we got double pep.
I get double pep.
Dude, Bundle Bros!
Bundle Bros!
Bundle Bros!
Field yours starting at $24.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
What would you do if you won a big jackpot? Buy a new car. Take a vacation. Pay off your house. Turn your dreams into reality at Texas' premier entertainment destination. Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino Hotel in Eagle Pass, Texas.
SAFC fans, something to be excited about to begin this season. The atmosphere jovial in spite of the big wins. It's chilly. As first year head coach, third in SAFC history, Carlos Llamosa. 14 years, as mentioned, Katie, bringing a lot of that experience from MLS level. He was previously with the Portland Timbers from 18 to 23, guided them to runner-up finishes in 18 and 21, but 18 pro seasons as a player in both the United States and Colombia as a defender. Played in the first division in Colombia and the MLS as well for DC United, Miami Fusion, New England Revolution, two-time MLS Cup winner with DC United, 29 caps for the U.S. national team after he became a U.S. citizen in 1998.
really impressive, and I've had a chance to talk to him a couple of times at training, and he's just so humble. You would never know by talking to him. Very calm, composed individual, doesn't have a lot to say, as you would kind of expect from a coach, but really a great addition here for San Antonio. He brings along with him assistant coaches Freddie Herrera and Dominico Duro as well.
It's always interesting to look at a first-year head coach and how they come in. Do they come in with ego? Do they come in with saying, hey, I've been successful, this is what works? Do they come in, do they adapt their culture to the culture? There's been greatly established culture, not just with the previous coaching staff, but the culture of San Antonio FC, what it means to play for this franchise, what the franchise identity has been. So it will be something to watch over the course of the season, how that fabric continues to weave together. The players, the fans, the coaching staff, the training staff, everybody that's part of this organization. Is teams have switched sides. SAFC going into the win now, so south to north, right to left for us.
Talking about that culture, I mean, SAFC is owned by Spurs Sports and Entertainment as well, so I think you get that top-down approach of just having class and good character all the way around. Such an incredible organization, and Carlos Llamosa walking right into it, I think a great fit, really and truly. And, you know, there's a lot of fine lines to walk, right? You want to bring some of your own stuff, but you also have a lot of other personalities to work with when you join a new organization. So definitely a lot of work to be done there. You can see that wind fully at play as Sanchez trying to make that clearance.
Be a beautiful night to fly a kite.
Yeah.
You just go out, plant in the middle of the pitch, and send it towards that goal. Shoulder down, and then stepped over. A little bit of a message sent there defensively. Nico Gordon.
Captain.
Cava know that no easy territory join.
Captain Gordon. I mean, just trying to hold him off the ball is what I think it was. But yeah,
that's unnecessary.
That's a little.
Those
bit
are
more
the things that take a game from spirited to can get a little more ugly. The tap on the head there.
Well, if you're down 1-0 at the half, I think you should be a little frustrated, maybe stirring up some stuff. It's all part of the game.
San Antonio could have easily gone into the half up 2-0. The duo of opportunities in a sequence that ended with La Cava off the crossbar. The post has been hit twice. No framework. Tapped on the other side, but the early minutes of the match were in favor of the visitors and their opportunity trying to find their first win here at Toyota Field. Not a friendly place for visitors to play over the years.
Not at all. I mean, God forbid the ref does anything wrong, the crowd will let him know about it. But it's also a really fun place if you're in the crowd with the fans.
Yeah, I think the last match we did, the season finale last year, the fans were on borderline mutiny. The match, San Antonio FC was already out of playoff qualification.
Borderline, you know, chaos across the board for multiple reasons.
Yeah, I think the fans needed the offseason too. But they always come out in full force and can tell that they are happy that USL soccer action and San Antonio FC is back in action.
One thing about San Antonio is that you're going to have some diehard fans, no doubt. Whether it's Spurs or SCFC, rain or shine, you've got people out here. See the supporter section there.
That's a new area you were talking about?
Yeah. They've got their tifos hanging down. San Antonio again just building out slowly with composure.
SAFC, their sporting director, Marco Ferruzzi, in his second year in was doing some chatting prior to the match, and that relationship between Ferruzzi and Yamosa, having watched him and the success he had at the MLS level, is where there was synergy to bring him on board. Ferruzzi in his second season
has really made quite the impact here in San Antonio. Also has a level A coaching license, so really knows the game. Has had a lot to say about a lot of these new players. I'm sure having a hand in that recruiting process.
Stoll too, he got a lot of calls about the job, given the facilities, the facility upgrade, the fan base, the history of the franchise. This is a very desirable job when it was known that there would be a change in the coaching staff. Hard struck ball from well outside.
I love that. I really do, because
I like the sound.
Yeah, nice little thump. Don't want to be behind on the end of it, that's for sure, if you're a spectator. But I
better
mean,
not be drinking your beverage.
Yeah, don't want to lose your beer either.
Continue with
I
what
think
you were
just
saying.
having the confidence to shoot it from that distance, to try different approaches, that's the way that this system is going to work best. It seems fluid. It's not regimented. I think in the past it was very regimented, but here we've got a lot of overlapping runs, creative movement, and this is the kind of system that allows for that, and that's what we're seeing play out here.
Hernandez going to help up Galloway. Largest opening night. Crowd in attendance, 8,164.
Nothing like a new coach and new faces to get people in seats. Almost a good defensive win.
So the fans are in the house. They like the result. Unless you've made the trek from Monterey Bay. But can they see more, get more? Shoulder charge in the air and whistle. Is that a reactionary whistle?
I think it must be. You see a body on the ground and you're going to give it a call. But we've seen a lot of that on the other side. Monterey Bay being the aggressor there as SAFC was trying to make their way into the attack in that last half. So has no problem shutting that one down, and he was on his back a bit. Might have been an elbow in the back of the head. That might be what he's calling there.
Served in. Sanchez having to dial in the wind, playing on the other side, and he'll take a moment to investigate the blades of the new pitch.
Richard Sanchez has just been so good tonight. I mean, really doing everything right from the get-go. No starting out slow here for SAFC.
13-4 the shots in favor of the home team.
Wonderful switch there from Monterey Bay. Just couldn't make anything happen from it.
Majority of the opportunities have come through. It was like scattered plays, chaos plays for Monterey Bay when they've tried to build in this fashion, organized. San Antonio has had the answer defensively. Not ceding much space, but can they keep that up? Here is ball sent towards the wickets of Sanchez. Easy work.
Yeah, easy work there for him. You can see that Miles Lyons had his hands on his head.
How about this? This is new on the USL website. We got a heat map for the season showing where the majority of the action is.
Mostly in the flanks. Find interesting a little bit there in the middle. Probably most of that center circle is Jorge Hernandez.
San Antonio moving forward. That one trickling past the arms. Campuzano, but just wide.
SAFC not too happy that there's no call there. Had there been Had that late run from LaCava been timed a little better, he might have been on the end of it. But again, another really valiant effort here from SAFC. Love to hear the roar of the crowd.
8,000 plus in call-in response as San Antonio will serve the corner. Chopped onto the ground by Medrana, trying to work the ball through.
Really and truly, I think that is a mark of a fantastic outside back. He has no fear when it comes to the attack. It's 1 or 2 touch, going to goal. When he's in that forward mindset, he's doing an incredible job of just closing things down there on the left. I think a lot of those outside backs don't get enough credit because it's not the glamorous striker or center mid or center back role. But I mean, Jimmy Medranda is an absolute key piece here for SAFC.
Yeah, how about what we've seen from him tonight? We've seen some skill plays, but we've also seen some bulldog, gritty, hey, you know, you're not going to come in here and do that type mentality as well.
Yeah, exactly. Just great observation and just a well-rounded player, both skill-wise, IQ-wise. Perfect placement.
94, who initiated this sequence of events that will lead with the ball ending up in the crowd, and no hands down on the field for the game operations. He's losing the ball now. He had to go
He's
to
a little
the
too cold.
right-footed handle.
Got to warm up before he starts getting touches.
Don't want another ball on the pitch like we had earlier. Trying to keep this ball in play, cannot get there in time. Just a nice grass stain to show. Nicky Hernandez. Some space to work with. Outside the box. Finding his man. Hard challenge. Asking for assistance from the training staff. The challenge up top. Wanting to look at the head of Miles Lyons, number 15.
Looked like all ball to me there. He popped right up. Good on Miles Lyons to not stay down too long.
Jorge Hernandez worked the ball in. This is what it was. LaCava, that's just a chest-to-chest meeting in the air. No head contact. The ball did contact his head, so maybe that's why.
I think when you are running forward trying to head the ball when the ball's coming from behind you, you lose sight of it, and you kind of just get in the vicinity of where the ball's supposed to be. So I think just a bit of a clash and mix-up there.
Substitution coming. Nolati will sit down. So Xavi Nolati tonight is done. Number 7, Adrian Rebelar. That's from Watsonville, California. Coming in to work the midfield.
A veteran, played last season.
Nolati had that yellow card in the 26th minute.
Rebelar last season, 2 goals in 32 games. You know, that's the thing about every time there's a new season, you never know if you're going to be back in the starting lineup or not. It's anybody's game at that point. Fresh new perspective all the way around. Good to see him back in the mix. Juan Agudelo with the footwork.
LaCava. Verana trying to circulate the ball and play it all the way back to Tainer. Over to the other side. Lozano after the ball is lost in the air.
Understand he's trying to get it in behind pretty quickly, but a bit of a haphazard clearance. San Antonio really does best when they keep the ball on the ground. They've been moving it so well.
That ball chipped by LaCava. Turnover forced.
Great checking run from Agudelo.
Fans don't like it. Ref does not either.
Ref stepping in the middle.
Jorge will come over. Like to send a message as well. Just trying to shield off. It looked like LaCava let that ball trickle out of bounds, and you tell me, Katie.
A little bit of a shove.
What do you
maybe
do if
maybe a bit of a sell?
That happens to your teammate? How do you respond?
Oh yeah, it's clearing the bench, right?
Yeah.
No, it's definitely. I think for women it might be a little different than what we see here. But one thing you can guarantee is Jorge Hernandez is in the middle of it.
Well, he's going to be the one tasked with sending this ball in. Tight towards the keeper, but over towards the back post. Too much sauce. Nothing
Probably
doing.
looking for Tainer on that backside. Had a lot of success there, even in previous seasons. Tainer sneaking in there, the far backside, redirecting it.
San Antonio has done a great job thus far of keeping a lid on any sort of hope for Monterey Bay. But we've seen it play out time and time again. When you do that, you have to strike with that second goal and give yourself a reward for all the hard work you've done.
Just like that on the opposite end of the field here for Monterey Bay. Wind.
Eventually ends with what will now be a goal kick for Sanchez.
Lucky for San Antonio there that able to regain possession in that moment. I think under a lot of pressure they're struggling to clear it out as cleanly. Maybe those were the notes that Monterey Bay had at half, was apply a little more pressure to the back line and might see a different build out.
Tell me about, Katie, at this level. What happens at the half? How much digestion of what happened in the first half is there, and then how much adjustment is there after we watch this sequence?
I mean, kind of depends game by game, you know, what all is going on and what pieces that you have in. A lot of times you get to the half and coaches realize, okay, I'm gonna have to move this guy here and that guy here because they're beating you on the flank, or he's taller and he's beating you in the air, and so they put in a different presence. A lot of times you'll see the center strikers change because, you know, one is short and fast or one's big and strong. But in this case, there just haven't been a ton of changes, and I think it's just because it's been a really good matchup. And again, still working out all the little kinks here as far as chemistry and connectivity goes. I've not seen anything that's a massive breakdown for either side.
I ask you because I think most people, your casual soccer fan, thinks it's water and oranges at halftime.
If
but
only Capri
the level
Suns.
of analytics now, I referenced the heat map, the average position. There's so many metrics now within the game that how much of that is digested and then put into place on the fly in a quick halftime period.
Right. I mean, they've only got 15 minutes at half to really break things down. So, you know, if you're a coach, you're just looking for patterns, any weak spots or any spots you can exploit. But yeah, you've got this heat map, and part of that comes from these devices that they're wearing that they're able to be tracked. And a lot of times they wear these in practice so that you can see the calories they're burning, the work output they're burning, how it varies from week to week. Women's teams, professional teams also wear those. Very expensive, but they're essentially GPS trackers that give you all that information. Now at the half, maybe he has someone on staff breaking that down for him, saying, hey, this guy's just not putting out what we need him to in this moment. Let's get some fresh legs in.
Yeah, it's usually boiled down to like a work rate number or color-coded to then tell you, hey, this guy's been running a lot, this player's been working too much, this player hasn't been working enough. You look, it's commonplace now on the sideline to see one of the assistants or someone on staff with a laptop or with an iPad that can digest that data and then say, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? But ultimately, it still goes to the old school coach's gut, the coach's eye test and feeling.
Absolutely. I mean, you can really get bogged down with too many stats and facts and figures. What it comes down to is what the coach is seeing there. You've also got guys usually up top in the press box and looking over video and replay who can help coach out as well.
Yeah, so it's not just put the ball out there and see how it goes anymore. There's so many different tweaks. Or always looking for that one minor advantage, anything to try to earn an extra goal, an extra corner kick, whatever it may be.
And that's the kind of stuff that I love to nerd out on because, you know, you can be here watching the game and say, oh, what a great goal. And it's different when you're trying to break it down piece by piece. Ooh, ref says, hold on.
This has happened a couple times on the corners we have seen, just not pleased with whatever interactivity and activity happening.
Things starting to get chippy for sure. Time ticking down. Monterey Bay can feel it.
Effort defensively for SAFC. Where would you put it? Give me a 0 to 10.
I'm working with an 80 this game. It was a little tough in the first
80
quarter.
Would be out of 0 to 10.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So an 8.
Yeah. Oh, 80%. I'm thinking 100%. What scale are we on here?
All right, there we go.
An 8. Sorry, excuse me. I just went rogue on that one. But yeah, an 8.
So you like the
I'm
effort.
thinking 80%. Like if I had to score them on a test, right? Because that first quarter was really rough. It wasn't really rough, but there were some pockets there. I think they just cleaned things up a bit, and they've been really composed moving out here. I think, too, that Monterey Bay has not made them pay, you know, and so it may be different against another team. But as of right now, in this game, at this point in time, I'm going to give them an 80.
How about offensively? We'll go 0 to 100 as well.
Well, we've got a goal, and we had a lot of really close looks. So for me, it's like a 90 if we're winning, right? So or San Antonio's winning. I think that's really awesome. And I love the creativity up top, the movement that we're seeing, the confidence to take some really tough shots, and then also the attempts from the back line to put it away too is what's getting them that A score.
Sent across.
There's just a lot of room for growth when you have a ton of players on the field with that kind of mindset, and that's the Colombian influence when we talk about soccer, just fluid movement. You know, yes, of course, you have structure when you set your roster, but it's very clear that people have no problem leaving their position and knowing that they'll be covered.
Showed you top of the show, undefeated. All-time is SAFC in home opener, 6-0-3. They have a 21-7 goal differential. There have been 5 clean sheets this 10th anniversary season. Outside of, I would say, the obvious, which is the year they won the championship. Give me some other SAFC highlights for you. Moments in franchise history that been great.
I think that 2022 championship is one that's going to be burned in my brain. I was on the field the moment it happened, and you see the confetti go and just the fans storming the field, everything. It was just quite a moment. I mean, even from when they were Scorpions to now being SAFC, this club has grown so much. I mean, all that they've done for the field.
Katie, you're very
press box,
integrated
everything.
into the soccer culture here in the city of San Antonio.
Yes, I am. I was born and raised here. In fact, Coach Oscar Munoz was my coach growing up in club. He is now the academy coach. He is typically on the bench there during the game. And he's Colombian. So I grew up with Colombian influence, you know, a lot of dribbling of the ball, fluid movement. That's how I operate. And that was because of him. So I got to give him that. There's just so much happening here. The SAFC Academy, you got Ethan Bryant, who's an SAFC Academy product, out there on the field right now, number 8. And that just speaks volumes as to what San Antonio FC is doing here. I feel like Dallas, Houston, Austin, they get all the credit for producing soccer players, and they do put out some amazing players and talent. But between that and some of the guys, the academy contracts that they've signed this season for SAFC, they're really building something special. You even have a guy, a goalkeeper, Joey Batruni, who's going to be playing as soon as he graduates from the University of Virginia, also a San Antonio Academy product. So just great stuff. You've got Daniel Namami, who is on the bench in the goalkeeper position as well, played at UIW here in San Antonio. So when you talk about the culture and everything, this team has done so much for the city.
A little bit of disconnect in that sequence as it ends up in front of Sanchez, who tried to play it out but harmlessly passed the back line. But very much woven into the fabric of this city is San Antonio FC, and that's why you see 8,000 people come out to welcome in a new season, welcome in new players, a new coaching staff. We had talked prior, and the fans, there's a high expectation. And where they were there is Ethan Bryant, who was the first ever SAFC Academy pro player, knew that he would be excited. He had talked about friends, family being in the house to run full circle to begin the season here when he saw the calendar. But bad taste in the mouth of the fan base last season. Last season was a very hard one to get through when you can't develop any rhythm, when you have a lot of injuries and no continuity coming off the success that you have. But to then reinvigorate, and kudos to ownership, front office, to say, okay, let's refresh here. Let's cycle. Let's build on our culture, and proof's in the pudding, at least tonight, in terms of what the result is right now, but the fact that fans came out in force.
Right. Well, I think they liked that the club took action and made changes, some big, really obvious ones.
But you don't want to see 8,000 fans go home unhappy, and that was a strike that could have knotted the game up. Wow.
Really close call. We'll have another look at that. Wide open, not closed down quickly enough. He doesn't waste time to pull that trigger.
Malongo
look.
Turned and burned on the ball, but just high.
Mael Malongo has been, I think, one of the most dangerous players out here. I think I've said his name a couple of times now. The way he's got that speed, the way he's able to get in and get looks. And again, as I said, 80% there for me for SAFC, because they're giving away those.
That go down to like
looks.
75 after that?
No, it might not. Hey, it's only first time in the second half, so.
Katie, this juncture of a game, 73 minutes, when you've, for the most part, dominated it with your mentality, but how dangerous can it be with just a 1-0 lead?
Oh yeah, it's anybody's game still. There's hope on the table there for Monterey Bay FC. Then when you get up to that 2-0 lead, that's the most dangerous lead in soccer, because you start to sit back and get complacent. But right now, it's still a good spot for both teams to continue trying to put things away.
Second yellow card of the match presented to Monterey Bay FC.
Trying to tie Agudelo's hands behind his back on that one.
It's Lyons, who was scrapping earlier with Jorge Hernandez. 15 plus to go in regulation, couple of substitutions. Getting up and ready to check in for SAFC. Hernandez, we've seen him take a couple from this position already tonight.
It's really good placement on the back line there. Just a little bit of mix up in the run. Well defended, well man-marked well there for Monterey Bay.
Maybe a chance here with the defender losing his footing. Kava working, sent in, punched over. Nobody there in black to receive it, trying to keep up the pressure.
Pomnali there, just not able to get on the end of it. Would have been a finish that had to be creative.
Campuzano had got a mid on the ball and just redirected it. And unfortunately for SAFC, no one in that space. Substitutions will come on now. Luke Hawkinson will be one. Well, he'll put it in reverse now. That's not our tape being rolled back.
Luke Hawkinson is really that plug and play guy. Can put him anywhere on the field, really and truly. Was such a key piece last season. Had a banger of a goal against Miami. Wasn't his debut, but it was like his second game. I mean, just a bullet, upper 90 off a volley was insane.
Alexi Soani will be the other substitution. Agudelo sits down. Okay, can the home squad get it in the clubhouse, keep their home opener record unblemished, and place themselves atop the table, albeit after week one, but earn themselves 3 points.
It'd be a great start for sure.
The 10th anniversary season.
Suahi from Montreal, France. Also played at FC Tulsa, New Mexico United, Louisville City FC. Fruzi mentions he's a strong 1v1 defender, can make big defensive plays in key moments. Probably exactly who you want in there as legs are getting tired. We can't forget this is the first, game of USL Championship season. You can prep all preseason long, but there's nothing like when a title's on the line here, and it starts today.
That first game of the season in your playing experience, when was it when the legs hit and you're like, oh yeah, I should have trained a little harder?
Oh man, it's usually in the final minutes. Last 10-15 minutes is when you start feeling it the most. That's why probably seeing a couple of changes here.
Well, that's why you rely on your veterans who look like they can go forever. That ball went forever off the left foot of Jorge Hernandez. Like the idea, though.
Yeah, I like that he had the confidence to take it from there. And I don't even want to say selfishness, just the confidence, because he needs more selfishness, honestly, in front of goal.
Just if anything, too, for SAFC, it feels like in the last 10, 15 minutes to remind Monterey Bay, hey, we get one more, and this thing's night-night. Keep them on their heels.
Exactly. And, again, just too many good looks and too many close calls for Monterey Bay. Might be kicking themselves. This could have been a 2-1 or 3-1 game had they put those open shots to bed. But they didn't. That's the name of the game.
We've had 2 posts and a crossbar for SAFC. Campuzano will cross the line. Send it into the stands. Where you going, folks? We still got 10 minutes to decide this thing.
Ain't over till it's over, that's for sure.
Maybe they didn't bring a jacket.
That could be it. Maybe they, like me, did not read the weather app.
We do get lulled by that in Texas, where I'll leave the house all the time, not bring a jacket. And it's like, did I even check the weather? It may be cold.
I have 2 dogs. I took them out for a walk earlier today, and it was hot, and I was sweating. I assumed it would carry on into the evening, as it always does, but no.
35 to 40 degree swing. Wind is still whipping. It has been a blustery eve.
Nerd fact, San Antonio is in the pathway of 4 major wind currents.
Ooh.
That's why things change. Texas is, and so that's why the weather changes here so erratically, because it's really coming from all directions.
Literally.
Literally, yes.
Whistle and a foul. Fans like it. Can San Antonio do something with it? What's the story of the second half been? It seems like just kind of jab, jab, jab. Not a lot of haymakers either side. Maybe one from Monterey Bay.
Yeah, a little more chippy from Monterey Bay. I think you can see the frustration. I'm sure that's partly with themselves having those open looks. Seeing a lot of good stuff from them across the board. San Antonio just staying steady and composed, really. Not a ton of defensive blunders there, other than just not shutting things down quickly. But that's all stuff that can be learned and perfected as you go throughout season. For Monterey Bay, it might be harder to put those opportunities away. Sometimes it's harder to correct that on the offensive side.
Backside of the box headed towards the middle. Dorana will recirculate it down that way. A duo of Crispin Kelp defenders keep it out. Still in possession of San Antonio. Deep into the corner, fighting off the defender.
It's a little early to be taking it to the corner, in my humble opinion, with a 1-0 lead.
Alex Crinali, number 21, is the one that was doing it, but in his defense, well out of position.
I was just going to follow it up with that statement. Yeah, when you're center back and it's well out of position, definitely the move.
Just trying to get everything back organized and not make any mistakes, I would assume is the ethos right now for San Antonio. Don't make any mistakes. We have the result we need.
Yeah, better to be safe than sorry, no doubt.
A lot of dancing. Guess it is a Saturday night. Polish up your boots and give it a 2-step.
Or a stretch if you're Mitch Tainer. You know, I had a chance to talk with him earlier this week, and I asked him, what do you think about the preseason? Did it feel short? How did it feel like to you? I mean, there's been a new guy added every week, week after week, and he said, you know, that's just part of it. Even in MLS, it's that way all throughout season. And so he said, I think we're exactly where we need to be, and I think he's right. Just looking at this performance here, guys have done a great job.
They may have to cut the match ball in half to give one half to Pacheco for his goal if it remains as is, but for Tainer as well, some history in the 58th minute. Crossed into a threshold that only 11 other players in USL history have made. Came the 12th to record 20,000 regular season minutes. That a testament to the mentality, the fitness. Uh-oh. Yellow card.
Kind of lucky he got a yellow. That was a tackle from behind, kind of.
It's okay. You can say it was from behind. Nicky Hernandez.
Nicky Hernandez.
Call a spade a spade.
I mean, it was a behindish ankle. So yes, I would say.
You still won't commit.
Oh yeah.
That was a jump.
You're gonna get booked. But he did get the ball. You gotta hand it to him.
He got the play was for the ball. Yeah. It was the angle that maybe the official took exception to.
Couldn't get his feet out of the way in time to not trip the guy up.
Well, now can Monterey Bay make something of it? Sanchez has had to be well alive in the box.
Well defended there by Alex Crognali. Crognali, a brick wall on that one too. A little under 5 minutes to go. I'm sure there's going to be some extra time. But both teams here are fighting for their lives.
San Antonio would like to find an extra goal. La Cava just getting pressed off the ball one step too much and loses possession.
It's one of those moments where you're running hard all game. It's the first game of the season. Legs give out on you in that moment sometimes. Definitely been there before.
Into the 86th minute, 1-0. Score remains. The lone tally came in the 40th minute. Diego Pacheco off the head of La Cava on a redirect after he'd had an amazing header himself just a few minutes prior that hit the right post. San Antonio has protected their lead. Can they do so for the remainder of time and walk away with another season beginning victory at home? 6-0-3 in home openers. Get to play at home again next weekend, welcoming the Riverhounds of Pittsburgh. Final substitution. Pacheco, the goal scorer, will sit down.
Absolute standout performance there from Diogo. I mean, a couple good looks at goal. Really excited to see what he and Juan Agudelo can cook up this season. Alex Grieve now in the mix.
You know you're getting old, Katie. I'm speaking for myself, not you. When you look at the roster and there's no one born in the decade you were born in.
Oh.
I was born in the 80s. I mean, come on, it's not that long ago.
All right. Tell yourself what you need to there, Tyler.
What do we got? I think the oldest we have here is 94.
I think we've got a 31-year-old is our oldest.
Juan
San Antonio FC.
Agudelo, 92.
Wow. Babies. Total babies. Just kidding.
I don't know what that. Let's see the youngest year. Jake La Cava, 2001. Lucio, 2001. 2008, Sebastian.
Oh, an Academy. Is he Academy signing?
He's in the reserves.
Yeah.
2008.
I'm not going to age myself by commenting
you don't
on
have
that.
To. I went ahead and did it for myself.
Oh, man.
Approaching the 89th. Let's revisit the conversation that we had grade-wise. What's your takeaways? Your keys, what you had talked about, tapping into the energy, making sure that you didn't swing too far either way. But give me some of your takeaways thus far, assuming that it ends 1-0 in favor of SAFC.
Well, I really like seeing these substitutes come in here in the final minutes. I think we can get a better overall score because depth is everything in the USL Championship. We have so many games, and if you're going to make it to playoffs, you're going to have to have some really good depth here. But I think I'm still in the 90s. I'm still in the 90s overall. We've got 80 on defense, 90 on offense. I'm going to give it an overall A score. I think they could still be better. I think there are pieces to where they can go from being really good to really great, no doubt. But again, it's the first game for both teams. So again, hard to get a pulse.
How about the new names? Specifically, the player that we saw off, the goal scorer, Pacheco, Madrana as well, that's inputted into this match. New names that fans are going to get familiar with. 4 minutes, the addition for stoppage time.
Yeah, I think Pacheco is going to be a guy that we talk about a lot this season. Just the way that he moves off the ball, finishing technique, really some next level stuff. Just the way that he and Juan Agudelo work together has been outstanding. Jimmy Medranda, you expect to see him on Team of the Week, I think, often throughout this season. He just does too much there in the outside back role, both defensively and getting into the attack. Next level stuff there. And then, of course, Alex Cronali has done really good there in that center back role as well. All guys who I was kind of expecting going into this. They have such great backgrounds. Heard coaches speak highly of them, and so just good to see it all play out here.
And one that's not necessarily a new name or a new face, as he's had some experience, but back in goal, Sanchez, the night that he's had thus far, can he remain clean with the sheet? But that will be a great position to watch, and how he grows into that role as the player that started the season in goal.
He's been outstanding, has done everything right, showed up when he needed to, even when it's a point-blank shot unmarked, he was there to stop it.
That ball just over the head, so it keeps the ball in the attacking third for Monterey Bay. Like San Antonio had clearance, but
most given away there by Monterey Bay.
Chirp of the whistle with 2 players down on the pitch, neither of which seemed pleased with whatever the outcome was.
I think both are denying putting that ball out of bounds. Looks like it's going to go to San Antonio on this one.
How about your grade for goalkeeping tonight?
Grade for goalkeeping, 100, because 0 balls let in, 0 fumbles or mishandlings. So A++ there.
And it seems like he's had
Sanchez.
Good communication with his back line. I always find it interesting to watch goalkeepers towing that line between big upping your defenders, but then also getting into them when they make mistakes and hang them out to dry.
It is a fine line, but you definitely want a loud goalkeeper, no doubt. They are the eyes of the field. They see everything. And so I think probably part of that cleanup came there from him in his direction. Again, it's looked so much better in this second half than it did in the first half.
Player down on the pitch, didn't see the numbers, so I'll get it to you in a second. We'll get it to you, but the stoppage being somebody having to get up and throw on a kid. They weren't ready to go for the Monterey Bay side.
Yeah, looking like starting to cramp up. Sometimes that happens early on in season as you're trying to get used to things. The San Antonio FC made a pretty cool post about the new guys and how they pronounce their names. And I said, thank you very much, because, you know, as commentators, we definitely want to get it right.
It's always easiest hearing it out of the person's
Exactly. Mouth. We've got Alex Cronali, Alexi Suahi. We've got a couple Medranda. It's Alex Grieve, not Alex Greaves, he said. He said, people always want to add an S, and I don't know why.
Robinson coming on, number 12. So will that add just a minute or so to the 4 minutes of stoppage as we are now past the 94th as SAFC zeroing in on a season opening, home opening 10th anniversary, celebrating victory to kick off the 2025 campaign.
Still 4 minutes to go. Anything can happen, but these guys defend like their life depends on it. It's going to be a really, really great start to this season. Doesn't look like a ton has changed there for Monterey Bay despite the substitutions. A lot of times you get a super sub in and it kind of changes the dynamics of the game, but San Antonio FC still being steady.
It's got to be quite the super sub if you're waiting for the 94th to put him in.
I've seen it happen before. You don't realize you have a super sub until they prove it.
Here they come. Goalkeeper trotting up as well, and Campuzano in the dwindling time left. Diego Pacheco was the goal scorer in the 40th minute. I think the 8,125, if I remember correctly, I said it. 8,000 plus, largest ever.
Sold me on it. I mean,
home opener.
8,000 something. It's a lot of people.
They will head home and have a happy memory.
Another thing's for sure about San Antonians, if it's chilly, they're not going to stick around too long. So I think they were probably just happy to see a win.
And it is a win indeed to begin the 2025 campaign. It begins here in March and ends in October. A long way to go, but a great way to start. And well, maybe you saw the match ball into